Hello fellow gamers. In this video I'll be updating on my old video on the Riku-Ansem boss fight. Go and check that out if you're interested, by the way. So, jumping straight into the pre-prep. I'm using the Lady Luck Keyblade. You get this by activating the White Trinity mark in Wonderland, just inside this painting. You can also use the Spellbinder if you'd like, as it gives the same magic boost, which is what we're interested in for this fight. For this one, just go and talk to Merlin after learning the base version of every spell in the game. Fire, Blizzard, Thunder, Gravity, Cure, Arrow, and Stop. Okay, the next thing you're going to need is the Royal Crown accessory, which you can get by coming outside Maleficent's boss room and gliding down here underneath the block puzzle. Simply walk through this door, cast Gravity to lower the chest down, and you'll get yourself the MP boosting Royal Crown accessory. After this you should have 11 MP, or 12 MP if you started the game with the Dream Rod. Now you may also want some elixirs just to give yourself an edge in this fight. If you're running short on them, there are two places to get them. Here in Rabbit's Garden, just pull up enough of his vegetables for a small chance of pulling an elixir per vegetable. Or the quicker but harder way, hit a rare truffle 50 times, which you can do by coming to Hook's ship, getting them up against the wall, and pinning them there with Aurora or Aeroga. You can also get Mega Elixirs by doing it 100 times. Now, with all the basic pre-prep out of the way, let's jump straight into the first easy peasy cheesy method. The Dark Firaga method. Okay, so here's the strategy. We're going to cast fire on him. Now what Riku is going to do is catch our fireball, turn it into a dark fireball, and then throw it back at us. And then, we are going to guard that fireball and send it back at him. This is going to do a small amount of damage. Okay, right here you can see that he enters his guard stance animation. And he did this after getting hit by 3 dark fireballs. Now, this is the only time it will take 3 dark fireballs to make him do this. Every time after this, it will take only 2. Now, you can just wait for his guard animation to end, or, as I like to do, you can just hit him to speed it up. Now we're just going to get him back in the loop. Fireball, block, dodge. Fireball, block, dodge. And now he'll guard again. Fireball, block, dodge. Fireball, block, dodge. And now he'll guard. And just like that, the second half of the fight is over. What you're seeing right now is a health barrier that we've now knocked Riku through. He's now going to enter the second phase, where he envelops himself in darkness and gains a few new moves. Funny enough, this actually makes him even easier to beat than before. Okay, when Riku's done with his recovery animation like this, that means he's about to throw a strike raid. You guys may know this as the disc attack. So as soon as he puts his Keyblade right back up to his shoulder, where you're seeing right now, that's your cue to block. Alternatively, if you don't want to risk it, you can just dodge roll away. Okay, it's time for the Phase 2 Fireball routine. So, we're going to shoot a Fireball at him. He's going to catch it and throw it back as a Dark Fireball. Then, we're going to block twice. Okay, 1 block. And 2 blocks. Now get out of the way. Now fire. Okay, it misses. Don't worry about it, just heal. And try to get another one in. Okay, block. Block. Now get out of the way. Okay, now we're just going to heal through this move. Now he's back to phase 1, only temporarily though. So now we're going to attack him as he's transitioning to phase 2. Now block. Now try to get out of the way. Now he hits me again, just heal. Now we're going to try and get him running after us. Now just block this, block. Now just get moving. Alright, heal through this move. Now he's back to phase 1. So block the fireball. Now, while he's going into phase 2, just keep on hitting him. So he actually catches me there on the overswing, so I'm just going to heal through that. And now I'm going to try and get him with another fireball. So block it. Block the retaliation. Okay, so whenever your health gets low, just heal. Now, some people like to use arrow just to prevent a little bit of damage, but I personally think it's just too wasting on the MP. So I'm trying to get him back into the fireball routine, but he's retaliating instead because I'm standing too close. So now he's trying to enter phase 2, but we push him past the last threshold, so he's now in phase 3 instead. This is Dark Aura. Basically just really, really dark Sonic Blade. So every 10 seconds or so, he's going to just do that move again. It's extremely annoying. There we go. Okay, if you come and stand over here next to this computer terminal, his finishing blast 90% of the time will not hit you. Just make sure you move out of the way, because he usually finishes with Strike Blade. So we got him back in the fireball routine, so just block twice. And then just keep on running. We're going to try and get him into the running animation if we can. But just take any opportunity you can, just to get him back into the fireball routine. You yourself don't need to actually do this. I'm just doing it for the purposes of this challenge, just to show how easy it is. Okay, since you guys get the basic gist of the fight, and Riku is literally just going to spam Dark Aura every 10 seconds, wasting a bunch of time, I'm just going to speed through this remainder of the fight. Come on, take your bets. How many more times do you think he'll spam Dark Aura before I finish him off? Oh, there we go. Fight over. Okay, so with the first method over and done with, let's move on to the second method. This one is known as the Ars Arcanum spam, and it is exactly what it sounds like. So these are my abilities right now. Now, you can unequip some of these. You don't need the tech boosts, so if you're low on AP, just get rid of those. Because if you've got EXP0, you should be equipping this. Now, I'm not going to equip it for the purposes of this fight, but I recommend that you do, because it scales up your damage. Now, moving on to the actual fight itself. So we're going to hit him 3 times by just walking around his initial blitz. And then we're going to apply the similar principle from last time with the fireball spam. Okay, now as soon as he puts up his guard, we're going to use Ars Arcanum on it. Alright, so now fireball, block the dark fireball, move, fireball, block the dark fireball, move, and Ars Arcanum. Alright, and Ars again. Alright, so now just use Ars again. Literally just spam it. Okay, so now we're going to use an elixir. Just heal through this last move. And Ars. Alright, now Ars. Now, we're going to try and use Ars whenever he guards, because this is basically just free damage. So, Ars. And now he's in phase 3. That was quick. So come and stand over near this computer terminal. Sometimes the attack will not hit you here. In this case it did. So we're just going to use Ars again. And he should go right back into his Dark Aura attack in just a minute. Here we go. So just jump over it. Just stand here and wait for him to finish. There's nothing you can do. Pop an elixir. Alright, now just spam R's again. There really is no strategy to this fight. Just keep your health as high as possible and spam R's whenever you have the ability to. Now, if you can, try to stand near this computer terminal, because it's a little safer than the other one. Alright, so now we're just going to wait through his Dark Auras, and we're just going to find our opportunity to use ours again. Alright, so move out of the way. And now spam R's. Okay, so hit him twice, then R's. And now he's gone to Dark Aura again, so we're just going to sit next to the computer terminal and wait for it to go. And R's. And heal. And R's. Of course he goes into Dark Aura at the last second. Yep, so we don't really have much choice here. We're just going to stand next to this thing and heal through the damage. Now R's. Now heal through the damage. Pop an elixir, because this is going to be our last R's in a sec. Just heal that. And R's. And that's the R's Arcanum strategy. Okay, on to the third strategy. The Sonic Blade strategy. Exactly the same as the R's strategy, just with Sonic Blade instead. Okay, now as you can see, I'm not going to use the Fireball strategy again. You are free to use it yourself, but I decided just to show you how to actually fight him with the Keyblade. You can hit him exactly 3 times, and then the 4th time he will retaliate. Now all of his moves are actually pretty simple. You can just walk around most of them. So he has 2 moves that he's going to hit you with. One of them is the sliding dash, which you just saw on screen, and that is the blitz move. Those are the only 2 moves that he will use in phase 1 that are really that much threatening to you. The others are just counters, which he'll use after you hit him 4 times. Alright, we're only going to start using Sonic Blade in the second half of the fight. We've almost gotten to the health barrier, but for now, we're just going to heal and hit him with the Keyblade. Just a few more hits. Okay, so now we can start spamming Sonic Blade. As you can see right there, it kind of whiffed because I lost target, but I just recover with a second one. Okay, so now we're just trying to find our opportunity. And Sonic Blade. Find another opportunity. And, well, we can Sonic Blade right through this. This is another advantage that it has over ours. You're completely invincible while doing it. So you can just Sonic Rave straight through this one. Pop an elixir. Heal. And Sonic. And Sonic. And heal, and Sonic. And you get the idea. So, a final Sonic Blade is going to push him into his 3rd section, where he's going to start using Dark Aura, his own version of Sonic Blade, which, funny enough, is not even half as broken as our version. So, Sonic Blade actually counters another of the quirks of Phase 3 Riku. He likes to jump around the arena quite a lot, making gigantic leaps. Sonic Blade allows you to be invincible, while also catching up to him. Now, I'm going to skip over the rest of this fight until the end, because you get the idea. It's literally just the same thing from here on out. was the end of the Sonic Blade strategy. Okay, on to strategy number 4. We're going to combine all of the strategies that we've seen so far. Fireball, Oz, and Sonic. So we're going to walk around his opening blitz move, and we're just going to hit him 3 times. Now we're going to start using fireballs. Alright, so we're going to hit him with the second fireball right here. Block the dark fireball, move out of the way, and break his guard. Fireball, block, dodge, fireball, block, dodge, guard break. Fireball, block, dodge, fireball, block, dodge, guard break. And you get the idea. This is going to continue until we get to the second phase. Now, as you can see, the triangle prompt is changing between R's and Sonic. The R's symbol will be there when you are close to Riku, but when you're a mid-range distance away, it'll change to Sonic Blade. Okay, one more cycle should do it. Now we're going to R's straight through this, because it's basically free damage. And just spam another R's while we're at it. So I'll just heal that damage, and do another R's. Okay, so we're going to heal to full, and then just go for Sonic, because we're mid-range away from him. So you can see how easy it would be to switch between the two now. Alright, because he's going into phase 2, we're just going to R straight through that until he breaks us out of it. And we're going to Sonic through the rest of it. And let's do Sonic again. And we're going to Sonic through his final Desperation move, just to avoid that extra damage. Okay, now we're going to get close to him and use R's. And this should push him into phase 3, which we did. Okay, now we're just going to guard the disc attack, or strike raid. Heal. Dodges Dark Aura again, because he is just going to spam it. I mean, to be fair on the guy, we are spamming the same move. I mean, we can't really judge here. So we're just gonna mostly spam Sonic for the rest of the fight. We're gonna be using R's a couple of times, just to get a bit of extra damage to speed the fight up. But it's mostly just sitting in the background and using Sonic. And he's going for Dark Aura again. He always does this right before you finish him off. Maybe it's scripted. Anyway, a quick Sonic to finish the fight off. And that's how you use all 3 abilities together. Now, there is one more strategy if you're going for a magic build, and that is the Strike Raid spam. So obviously, go into your ability setup and just change out Sonic Blade and Ars Arcanum for Strike Raid. Okay, so getting into the actual fight itself, I am going to be skipping over part 1 because it's getting pretty repetitive at this point. You know exactly what we're going to be doing. You can sort of make it out there, just the fireball method. Well, that health bar just can't go down any slower, can it? Alright, getting there. Okay, finally. Okay, now we just spam Strike Raid. And as you can see, the damage output is significantly better than Sonic Blade. and it costs the exact same amount of MP to use. Which is why I personally recommend this method to anyone who wants to do it. Even if you're not running a magic build, this is still preferable. Okay, so we're going to hit him while he's charging up his phase 2 moves. And now we're just going to outstrike raid him. Alright, strike raid. Strike raid, strike raid, strike raid, judgment. Okay, now's the annoying part where he just spams the same move over and over again. I mean, the nerve on the guy, right? Okay, and you've got the idea. I think we'll just let this one play out for now. Now that finishes up all the MP-based strategies. Now, as for physical strategies, there are two. Generally, people stick with Olympia. Now the general setup is exactly the same, exact same accessories. And if you pick the sword or shield as your starting weapons, then you'll have earlier access to the counter-attack ability. Alright, now moving on to the actual fight, we have the Spam X strategy. And there are two variants, the Olympia and the Metal Chocobo. I'll show the Metal Chocobo variant just after this one. Literally, just spam X and Cure to win. Now, because Olympia and Metal Chocobo have a deflection stat of 90, which is the highest of any Keyblade in the game, shared only with one Winged Angel, which you get for beating Sephiroth, and the ultimate weapon, and you all know how hard that is to get. Because of this, you will not stagger at all upon clashing with an enemy. So as you can see many times during this fight right here, like you're seeing on screen right now, you can basically just counter-attack and spam it. So I'm going to heal here, then I'm going to spam X. So all of Riku's strategies, which are perfectly designed to counter you, we're just going to counter him. And as you can see, there's no strategy whatsoever, I am just spamming the X button. And then when my health gets too low, Cure. Now as you can see, he's just about at the health barrier for phase 3. So here comes the annoying Dark Aura spam. But here you'll see why he's always holding the Olympia Keyblade in every single cutscene. As you can see, it does so much damage, and Riku cannot combat it whatsoever. And look at that, it's just going straight through all of his attacks. And one more Dark Aura just for fun. Alright, we'll just stand over at a safe spot next to this computer terminal. Okay, here we go. Well, after seeing the Olympia melt through Riku-Ansem like that, you might be thinking, what, is there a better Keyblade suited for this fight? Well, yes. Yes, there is. Metal Chocobo. Now, because this Keyblade actually has a wider swing, you're going to see just how much more effective it is at the same task. Look at how much damage it does. Okay, now as you can see, we can just attack his guard and then just attack straight through it. Okay, so we're going to attack him right before he goes into phase 2. And now we are just going to spam the X button, as you can see. Just continue spamming X, no strategy required. This is even more effective than the Olympia version. He's already on phase 3 almost. And here we go, to charge up to phase 3. This is almost unfair. He doesn't even have the chance to use his Dark Aura spams. Of course, he's going to use one last one right here, just for fun. But I mean, he only used it once. Then we just come in for the kill. And that's all the easy strategies complete. I hope I managed to help you guys. Now on to some interesting facts and trivia. Now the cutscene that you're seeing right now on screen is one of, if not the most infamous cutscene in the entire series. That's because in the original PS2 release, we did not have the ability to skip cutscenes. So every time we lost to Riku-Ansem, we had to watch this entire thing fold out, every single time. I played this thing so many times as a kid that I remember this entire thing off by heart. Now I'll keep the info here limited just to avoid spoilers for those of you who, for some reason, don't know the lore behind the fight that you're currently doing. Riku-Ansem is possessed in this scene by the main villain of the game, Ansem, an emblem Heartless. But his possession is incomplete, as shown by the Heartless emblem on his chest, lacking the crossing lines in the middle, insinuating that Riku still has some control of himself in this state. His Keyblade is called the Keyblade of People's Hearts, and as scary as it looks, it actually has the same stats as the Kingdom Key. The main difference between most Keyblades and this one is that this one is actually incomplete, as it is missing one of the hearts from the Princesses of Heart. And if we take a close look at his Keyblade, it is missing any kind of keychain. Riku-Ansem is the gateway boss between the mid-game and the end-game. After defeating him, all the Heartless in all the other worlds will go up in level, and the story will progress towards the last stretch, leading to the final boss. Interestingly, when he's defeated, he drops the Ragnarok ability as a reward. Ragnarok is the twilight of the gods in Norse mythology, and refers to the end of the world. Fittingly, shortly after this fight, we progress towards the final boss, Ansem, in a place known as the end of the world. Personally, I think that getting an ability in this scene lowers the tension of the next scene, but I'm not a game designer. I just tear apart the mechanics for fun. So, before we end this video, I'd like to go over a few quirks in his moveset. You may have noticed it yourself while playing the game, or perhaps you picked it up while watching this video. But Riku-Ansem's moveset is basically the same as Sora's. It seems this fight was meant to be a sort of dark alter ego fight. Now, among the moves that Riku shows here, we have Blitz, a move that appears to be a combination of Sliding Dash and Zantetsuken. God. And if you annoy him enough during phase 1, then he'll do this move. The most similar move I've got for this one is maybe Gravity Break. Then of course we have Dark Firaga, which is just Fire Spell with a twist. Strike Raid. Probably Sora's most broken ability. And of course, who could forget Riku's own version of Sonic Blade? Thanks for watching the video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and share this video with your friends. Doing any of these things will help my channel to grow, and will help me recognize by the YouTube algorithm. See you next time!